Hello everyone out there in Dodoland. This is Keith your APC bringing you a proto commentary. This match is a game between LGD, SGTY going up against Nirvana Malaysia. It is game one of a best of two series between the two in the ADC 2010. The mode they're doing all pick, and so that means I don't even have to suffer through the long, prolonged waiting period of Captain's Zone, which is fantastic. But I probably will pause and talk about the picks as soon as they all go through, and I think that's all 5 Sentinel and all 5 Scourge. Yes, it is. First, I'll just go through the players playing each hero. We have Benz on the Jacro, CH on the Lion, we have ZSMJ on the Alchemist, YYF on the Darkseer, and GX on the Crystal Maiden. And of course, I'm sure you already know this by now, but 2009 is of course missing, and that's sad because he was one of the LGD players I liked more. But in any event, on the Scourge side of things, we have Ice on the Vulsion, Yamata on the Storm Spirit, Extinct is on the Visage, the Puck is being played by Mushi, and down here, Net is on the Tide. And briefly discussing each team's lineup, one thing I want to point out about the Sentinel side I'm seeing is the lack of sort of a ranged DPS carry or semi-carry. The only really physical DPS kind of guy they have is the Alchemist, and he's melee, and often it's hard for a melee carry to get in there and get the hits off, because often you'll just be kited or whatever. So they're really relying a lot on SMJ's Alchemist, and not only that, but also how well this Lion and Darkseer will do early game. Because if they don't succeed early game, they don't really have much of a late game to translate to. On the other side of things, there is a Storm Spirit who's nice, ranged DPS, so he should be able to be effective, and he has a Tide to help his initiating Awesomeness, and a Puck. So a pretty good initiation, I think, on the Scourge side of things. And they also picked up the Visage, who can be a very potent hero. He has been nerfed slightly. He used to be ridiculously good at level 6, but now he's worse at level 6, but he's better later on. So he's still a potent hero, and of course the Witch Doctor support is potent as always. And I will resume the game and get things started. Crystal Maiden looks to be headed with Alchemist, and meanwhile we have Darkseer heading up top. We'll see if he's probably going to be soloing the top lane, perhaps. Maybe this Lion will be solo middle lane, and the other three will be doing a tri-lane bottom. On the Sentinel side, the Scourge side of things, we see the Tidehunter headed bottom, and he has some sentry wards on him. The Witch Doctor falling behind, and then the Visage. So the Alchemist is kind of running out alone. He's ramboing, but he is the Darkseer with the woods for the moment. Actually. And we have Puck. It looks like Puck's going to be the solo top lane, and Sorcerer is going to be solo mid lane. No real surprises there. So one sentry ward for the Scourge plonked down right here. Sentinel's just walking around, not going too close to where they think the enemy might be until they have their Crystal Maiden to back them up. They're being a bit defensive, actually, but none of these three heroes are carrying wards. I'm not sure who's carrying their wards. I don't think anyone is carrying wards. I see no wards on the Sentinel, which is somewhat unusual, I guess. In any event, the Scourge has a Witch Doctor here, kind of far away from the Visage, is right here. If these three Sentinel heroes jump on the Visage, he could be in a bit of trouble. Our Alchemist is charging up his stun now, and we'll see if he gets it off maybe on this Witch Doctor. He gets it off on the Witch Doctor, or I thought he did, but it didn't even hit. I'm not even sure what happened there. It looked like he was trying to stun Witch Doctor, but the stun just didn't hit. And the referees are saying no idea. I don't know what happened there either. No one does. He didn't stun himself. I don't know what happened. Someone more intelligent than me will have to point out what happened. In any event, we have Crystal Maiden sitting by a double damage rune, which makes her twice as deadly, which certainly the Witch Doctor cannot handle. He is running in fear from this Crystal Maiden, who is just wanting to rip things to shreds and go on a rampage and get a triple kill early. In any event, I doubt that's going to happen, but mid lane we see the Lion and the Storm Spirit beginning their little cheeky farm fest. We'll see what happens once they start getting high enough level to kill each other. And meanwhile, actually, the Darkseer is not even top lane. He is headed bottom lane in the woods, so there is no one top lane. So for the moment, the Puck top lane is enjoying a bit of free farm. And if that continues, we can expect to see a very early Blink Dagger on the Puck. We'll see if there's a bit of a fight here. Crystal Maiden has a double damage, but she's playing very cautiously because maybe she fears the Alchemist is a bit too far away, so they don't want to initiate a fight with the Alchemist too far away to back him up. Scourge has walked down a bit lower. Now Alchemist is charging a stun, so surely we will see a bit of action coming right now. Alchemist is going to stun the Visage. However, he's taking some fire from the enemy team. As the Visage is heavily injured, he's been slowed by the enemy team, and he is running away at very low health. He got off his nuke before he died, which helped him get the return kill on the Alchemist. Now Tide is running, and Crystal Maiden is running, and everyone is running. In particular, Sentinel has to run because the enemy creeps are here, and they cannot stick around and get bashed by the enemy creeps. And now Yellow, who is Yellow? I think that's the Jackro just bought some wards, which he will be sending to himself via courier. And we see this Darkseer is jungling his own woods, so he might jump in and it'll be a 4v3 if he shows up. And this Witch Doctor in a lot of trouble. He's been stunned by the Alchemist. They're just trying to give the Alchemist the kill. However, the Crystal Maiden says, screw that, I want the kill. And she steals the kill for herself. Because, like I said, this is going to be a triple killing, rampaging, double damage Crystal Maiden, apparently. That's the plan. Actually, that is not the plan. I think they just had her take the kill because it looked like the Alchemist was not going to catch up to get that last hit off. Stormspirit taking a bit of effective harass from this line. The line definitely has the early advantage, since he has 600 range in the lane to the Stormspirit's like 480 or something like that. So Lion can really harass early on, and there's not much Stormspirit can do to counter him because Stormspirit's Static Remnant, he'll never hit the line with that. Anyway, this Alchemist is playing very brashly since he only has the Crystal Maiden here. The Twin-Head Dragon was off warding, but nothing came of it. The other team didn't pounce on him. We see the Darkseer is now moved up. Now he's level 3. He's pulling, instead of neutrals, he's going for the enemy creeps. Be a bit of a thorn in the side of the enemy team, and so not too much going on. This Sentinel team pushed the creep wave a bit too far, and so now they're giving the enemy team some pretty easy free farm. And it looks like this Jack or the Visage is picking up the farm. However, he only has 3 last hits. The Alchemist is at 5 and 6 already. So pretty effective last hitting and denying from the Alchemist at this very early stage of the game. We'll see if he can keep it up. Mid lane, the Stormspirit is actually making a bit of a comeback. He has his bottle now. Both sides have their bottle, so they really need to control these runes. And neither team has vision of a rune, which is bizarre. That is just strange that even I, with my omniscient view of both sides, cannot see what runes are spawning. The Darkseer picking off Catapult, however, Puck zips in. He might get a kill off on him. Just one hit away. He surges. Oh, 3 hit points. Very lucky for the Darkseer. I think he used a bottle, and if he hadn't used that bottle for that split second, he probably would have died. So, very lucky from the Darkseer. I'm glad I caught that cheeky little escape. Stormspirit's continuing to farm against this line, and both of them really need the rune that spawns. We'll see who picks it up. In the meantime, this Visage bottom lane is snared by the Crystal Maiden. He's taking a lot of fire. The Crystal Maiden, the Visage actually gets the last hit off. And Visage in a bit of trouble, but so is this Witch Doctor. However, the Witch Doctor gets the creeps off his back and runs in shame. However, Crystal Maiden picks off a kill on him. I told you this Crystal Maiden was just going to go on a rampaging fest this game. In any event, now the Alchemist is taking a bit of damage. Now he's fine. They're all pretty low health though, but there's no one really to hurt them. This Tide doesn't have mana for a gush. The Visage nuke only really works if you take damage. So despite them being fairly weak, they're not in too much danger. Darkseer is now switching to more neutrals. He was a bit afraid after that 3. Oh, it looks like a Lion picked up a haste rune, which has enabled him to top himself up at pretty high health and mana. While the Stormspirit's bottle is running on empty, so if Lion can get the next rune too, the Stormspirit's going to be in a bit of trouble. I really can't believe it. Neither side has the rune warded. I'm like confused. I don't understand. Was there like there wasn't a counter ward? That's just unusual. In any event, we have not too much going on at this point. The Scourge is just free farming the creeps that push to their tower. Meanwhile, Sentinel is doing a creep pull down below. I missed a kill, sorry. Lion actually just hit level 6, and I failed to notice. And once he hit level 6, he finished off the Stormspirit, who had been denied his bottle. And without his bottle, he couldn't stay up high health, and he was probably at maybe 70% health or something, and he went down. The Puck is just being harassed by the Darkseer. I don't think the Darkseer will get a kill. We'll see if he pulls off a vacuum and gets a kill out of it. No, he's not going to tower dive, because Puck is level 6, and he's probably afraid of Puck's ultimate. So Stormspirit also level 6, now at full mana. He is trying to zip in for a kill on the Lion, however the Lion doesn't get hit by the ultimate, so he's probably just fine, despite being at low health. The Stormspirt's used up about half his mana, and he's not going to get a return kill. The Tide Hunter grabbed a haste rune instead of letting one of his allies or an enemy bottle it up. He just chose to take it for himself and run around the map like a madman. So things are shaping up pretty slowly. No one's really building towards any items interesting. I'm just checking that out now. Just standard boots and branches. Jakra actually opted for a Ring of Basilius, which is always a good item for someone in your tri lane to have. Darkseer doing some neutral creeps. He runs into Tide. Tide takes a lot of damage, but is going to escape just fine. The line is returning mid lane, and his finger is... Oh, this is a long cooldown. Still 60 seconds left on the level 1 finger cooldown. The Alchemist is charging up a stun, which hits Visage. However, there's no way Visage is going to take any damage. He's very safe. But the nuke does do quite a bit of damage. The Alchemist was at full mana, so when you're at full mana, you want to charge up a stun just for the nuke alone, not even if you're going to get a kill out of it. It's good to get off a little bit of harass. The Storm Spirit is cowardly hiding behind his creep wave. He's at a fair bit of mana. I'm not sure if he'll go in for kill or not. However, meanwhile, I say this, there's a huge encounter going on in bottom. Someone's already gone down. 2 Scourge heroes go down. Scourge lost 2 heroes. It was actually a double kill to Extinct. The Visage picked up a double kill, which is a bit unusual, but he's taking up a lot of damage, even though he's running, but he's fine. He's at very low health, though. The Witch Doctor's coming in to heal him with his healing, healing Circle of Happiness. That's what you call it. Darkseer continuing to go between the tower, and going between towers like this really puts a lot of pressure on the enemy tower, because if you deny the creep waves to back it up, your creeps just wail on the tower. Meanwhile, Lion picks up another kill on the Storm Spirit. He said, damn it, I was watching the cooldown of his ultimate, it just came off cooldown, and when it came off cooldown, down the Storm Spirit went. When you're going up against a Lion, it's pretty important to be aware of whether or not his ability is on cooldown. If it isn't, you can play very aggressively and probably be fine, but if it is, and you venture out beyond the range of... If you venture into the range of Lion's stun, you can expect to be stunned and then hit a few times, and ultimated, and have an untimely death. Jakro, using his... Just not doing creep pulling, just using his own power to kill these creeps. Look at him walking directly backwards. It's kind of funny. I always like the way Jakro moves, how he can like walk directly backwards, depending on how you click and stuff. He is a funny hero to move. Like, he just moves and turns like he's firing fire out of his ass. You see that? He's firing bolts of electricity out of his behind. That's what it looks like to me, at least, in any event. Continuing merrily onwards, the Alchemist is up to 18 last hits. Visage is at 20, so the Visage is doing very respectably. Since he's you would sort of expect him to do fairly well. This Lion is hiding in his woods. This Darkseer is teleported in to try and get a kill on the Puck, who is dead. Down he goes. Storm Spirit's about half mana. The Lion's at low health, so Storm Spirit might be able to come in and get a kill on him. However, as I say this, Scourge is doing a bit of tower diving. The Witch Doctor gets some casks off, but not early enough to save his life. He goes down to a deep tower dive, because he only has the Visage to back him up, and his other lenient ally, the Tide Hunter, has been free farming top lane for a pretty long time now. In Tide Hunter's absence, finally costs them. When you're in a tri lane and you leave and it becomes a 3v2 lane, you can usually expect your allies to die, so you really have to gain something significant out of it. The Darkseer has been firing fairly nicely. He's at 38. That's actually the 10-minute mark, so I'll pause and talk about everyone's. The Lion's at 42. He's up against the Storm Spirit, who's only at 27. The Darkseer is at 39 and 22 neutrals, so that's pretty impressive, really. Neutrals aren't quite as good as lane kills, but 39 plus 22 is a total of 61, which is a lot. It's not as good as 61 normal ones, but still very good. And who is he fighting against? He was fighting against the Puck, who's at 41. So the Puck is doing well also. The Alchemist 22 is against the Visage 22. So deadlock there. But I want to mention the Witch Doctor and the Tide have 5 on pop, whereas the supports on Sentinel only have 2 each. Doesn't matter much, but that's an extra set of wards almost, the difference. And I will actually pause and break this up in a part 2. Pause, part 2.